Hello again, folks. It's me, Barry from Barry's 8Track and Classic Car Radio Repair. And today's demonstration is going to be on a unit from an 1972 Olds Toronado. And this was sent in by my friends at Classic Service in New River, Arizona. And this is a conversion job. The original radio electronics is not very good in this model, and it can also be kind of a nightmare to find parts for. So I tend to just go straight to conversion on this type of model. And so we're just going to run it through all its paces, make sure everything works before we ship back to the customer. And let's just go ahead and turn it on. I have it set to FM at the moment, but I don't have my power to the bench there. Now let's try it. Okay, and there we go. Got some output there. And before we go too much further with this thing, this particular unit has a non-standard antenna connector. The hole for the little prong that the antenna plug has is a little bit too small for the standard antenna plug. So I've got a little bit of a rig, and our reception may not be quite as good because of that as it normally would be. But I still expect to pick up about 20 FM stations. So let's go ahead and take it to the runner from one end of the dial to the other.
Hi, I'm
Nice, low 58. And she. Risk-free. It's speed connect.
believes customer service.
This is happening with people very.
Toyota is bringing slightly
Bring your resume to our upcoming job fair.
That's about 10 so far.
Back to the music. From the freeway store.
It's nothing illegal in Trump.
You're gonna be amazed. Patient may vary, limited time only.
Okay, so that's 20 FM stations. Okay, so 2021 FM stations. Let's go ahead and flip it over to AM. Make sure the AM still works. We're only going to pick up a couple stations on the AM band, of course.
So it has been and
There's
continues
one.
to be a witch.
2. Probably get one more towards the center of the dial. And there we go.
Presidential candidate.
Okay, we're going to go back to FM, and I'm going to demonstrate the virtual balance and fader functions. And as I mentioned before, I tend to not use the original factory fader because a lot of them don't work anymore anyway, and they have a limited lifespan because of their self-destructive design. So, with that being said, let's go to our output level meters, and I'm going to demonstrate the virtual balance and fader functions. And there we are. And as we can see, the rear speakers are a little bit louder than the front speakers. We're going to fix that. The tone control will work as both a virtual balance and a virtual fader control. The first thing I'm going to do is activate the fader, and we do that by giving the tone control 2 quick turns to the right, each time returning it to its original position. So let's go ahead and rotate our tone control to about the center of the range, so we've got room to rotate it in both directions. Okay, I'm going to give it 2 quick turns to the right. We should hear 4 beeps, letting us know that we can now use that control to adjust the front rear fader. So here we go. Okay, there's our 4 beeps. Okay, and now this tone control is adjusting our front to rear speaker balance. Front only, rear only, front, rear. Okay, I'm going to balance it out. There we go. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing, except we're going to activate the virtual left-right balance control. Same procedure, except we turn the control twice to the left to activate the function. So here we go. Okay, there's our beeps. Okay, and now this tone control is adjusting our left-right balance, right? Left, right, and back to center. Turn it down a little bit. Okay, so we've demonstrated the AM, FM, the virtual balance and faders. Let's go ahead and pop in an 8-track tape and make sure that works correctly. And I guess we don't need the meters anymore. We'll go back to our unit. Alrighty, gonna pop in some temps. And one thing neat about some of these Delco radios is this is the program change button. Now this doesn't apply to most Delco radios. The dial nomenclature suggests that this originally went into a Cadillac unit. That may not be true, but that's what the dial looks like. Looks like a Cadillac dial. So most of your Delco radios have the track change button on the volume knob. You press down the volume knob to change tracks. On this model, the program change button is the rightmost tuner push button. And as you can see, I kind of accidentally. It takes a little bit of a delicate touch to change a program without pushing the button in so far that you move the dial pointer. So let's go ahead and pop in this tape. Okay, change tracks a few times. And just a quick output meter check to make sure that we're getting both sides. Okay, back to our unit. Switch tracks a few more times. Okay, and now we're going to remove the tape, and the leftmost tuner button is the button that you press to eject the tape. So here we go, and there goes the tape, and our radio comes back by itself, although we may need to readjust the tuner.
As a method figure who literally can do
The cloud, 95.9.
Alrighty, last thing we're going to check is the aux inputs, which this customer has requested just a couple of RCA plugs coming out of the unit. So let's just go ahead and make sure that the radio will switch over to the aux mode when we feed a signal to the input. Find a little bit of a ground here. Okay, there's a ground, and here we go.
Broadcasting's Northern Arizona Outdoor Adventure Show in the Prescott Valley Entertainment Center parking lot, August 19th and 20th. Where do you go when you need all things
Okay, we're
wireless?
not getting our
Center One.
aux
Come check us
signal.
out inside the
Fuck, not getting an aux signal. Right. Okay, it's me again. Welcome to the real world. I suspected that the aux input was not working, but what the problem was is that I simply didn't have my probe connected to my signal generator. So let's try that again. If I did some cussing, please excuse me. All right, turn this radio back on.
With those hard to find parts, we bring them in.
Okay, now let's test that aux signal
See
again.
what's new. Plug us on Facebook at YouTube.
Plug it into the right thing this time. I had this probe set to read on my oscilloscope, so let's reconnect the probe to my signal generator. Okay, let's try this again.
That's the letter U, pick AZ.
And if the aux is working correctly, then it'll automatically switch over to the aux input when we feed a signal into it. So here we go.
It's go time at Duncan.
Okay, there's our aux signal in one speaker, and there it is in the other side. So, okay, so that eliminates my need to have to redo the recording, and it also serves as the final test of all the radio's functions. So, oh yeah, and one thing that I forgot to mention is after the aux input is, after you stop using the aux input, the radio does take 20 seconds to come back because of a Vox circuit. And there's our radio back. Okay, final check. As we can see, the dial light comes on anytime the unit's on, and then the dial will also light up from the car's dash lighting system, as I'm showing right here by my command. So, alrighty. Hopefully, again, I didn't do too much cussing when I thought the aux input was not working. So we'll just go with what we've got, and welcome to the real world. Yep, I cuss sometimes. So this is Barry with Barry's 8-Track and Classic Car Radio Repair. If you have an 8-track either for home or for car use in need of service, you can contact me directly at 928-533-9666. Same applies, of course, if you have a classic car AM radio to which you would like to add FM stereo, a lot more output power, and also the possibilities of a Bluetooth, USB, aux input, and other possibles. You can contact me for those reasons also. My website is in the description below. Thank you very much for watching and listening, and we'll see you next time.